Alright guys, welcome back. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. We are still in the aftermath player ratings time. How much do we award these players? You know, there was a time when Turkish LDN said, how do I rate these players when I do not rate these players? But I think that's a little bit changed right now. I do rate some of the players actually in this lineup. I do rate Partey, I do rate Martinelli, I do rate Emily Smith-Rowe. I rate a couple of players, but how much could we actually award these players one by one, from Leno to Alexander Lacazette? How much does each one of them score? It's a point, a very, very vital point. We should have gotten 3, but we didn't. So we are going to go down there and award them out of 10. Let's be a little bit more merciful, careful, and strict because we want results. We want top for this season. Alright guys, so welcome back. Let us just get straight in. Smash the like button, it's always a rule. Get your subscriptions in and comment with your player ratings. Who was your man of the match, by the way? This is where we pick the man of the match, and my man of the match in this one was Thomas Partey. I think he was a little bit more brilliant than any other player on that pitch. I would have given it to Alexander Lacazette if he had scored that free kick, because I think that was exceptional. He rarely does that. We rarely see that kind of Alexander Lacazette that takes the initiative, takes matters in his own hands. But I think he was a little bit brilliant. And there's a way he forced Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire, to peck down in their own half, force them not to come to our own half and cause problems. I think that was brilliant. I think Thomas Partey was revolutionary. His form is just growing better and better. So if you agree with me that Thomas Partey was our man of the match, please go down in the comment box and tell me your man of the match. If it's Thomas Partey, you can just say a yes. If it's not Thomas Partey, then tell me no and tell me who your man of the match is. And one thing I want to talk about before we go into the player ratings, I think we missed Bukayo Saka so much. We didn't miss Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang because I think if Lacazette had got the right chances in the right positions, he was willing to score. I think he's been on fire, so we didn't get him in the right positions, and I think it was courtesy of Bukayo Saka. In the first half, Martinelli and PEPE, they was absolutely so bad. They were so bad. Martinelli never going forward, PEPE also never going forward. It was like we never had a forward line. It was only Alexander Lacazette trying to go forward. So I think we missed Bukayo Saka so much, and I think many Manchester United fans will agree. If Arsenal had Bukayo Saka, it would have been a different story. Maybe we wouldn't have won it, but it would have been a more entertaining game and a more entertaining piece of football from Arsenal. But right now we go down in the player ratings and see how much do we award everyone. I'll start with Van Lennon. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. That's another clean sheet, man. That's another clean sheet in the league. He has kept almost 4 clean sheets out of the last 5 games. That is remarkable. That's so good. That's so remarkable. Against Southampton in the midweek, that goal he conceded. No, of course there is a goalkeeper who could keep that. I think Buffon could have kept it out. I think Iker Casillas could have. I think Gigi Donnarumma could have. But I don't think David De Gea could have. And that's why don't say Kosi. You see the combined 11. No. I don't think he could have kept it out. But today he makes that brilliant save against Fred. That was so good. I mean, I think Fred. It reached a point when Fred thought he was going into the corner flag to celebrate that. And that, I've always said it, when we had goalkeepers like Manuel Almunia, when we had goalkeepers that were shit, I always said it, that is what it means to have a good goalkeeper. It's the reason as to why City are where they are. They do not concede stupid goals. And even when, they ought to concede, they don't concede. You understand? I don't know whether you understand what I'm talking about. When you have a good goalkeeper, he's going to get you points. Trust me, it's going to get you some good points. And I think that Fred save, if Fred had scored that goal, it would have changed everything, absolutely everything in the game. One, Manchester United would have got more confidence pushing forward. We would have wanted to get an equalizer, open ourselves. So you could see how one goal could actually change games. And of course, Jim Beglin always says, goals change games, but that one wasn't a goal. It was a save from from Burnley. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10 for that clean sheet against Manchester United and that remarkable save. But I think he also commanded his he commanded his role so well, trying to communicate with them on the free kicks. I don't know whether he was going to save that Bruno Fernandes free kick that David Luiz actually headed over the bar. I'm not really sure about that. Maybe someone should ask him in the in an interview. But I think he was not so bad. He was just on point. Hector Bellerin is the other player that I'll give a 6 out of 10. I was so scared to see Hector Bellerin. United is a very fast splinting team. And if you have right backs, left backs that are not on point, you're gonna concede goals you do not want to concede. And I thought Bellerin, oh my god, this is another liability. But I think he was good. He was good, especially defensive-wise. I didn't see him going, forward so much, like creating much chances. No, I didn't see him do that like a proper fullback. But I think defensive-wise, he was another Aaron Wan-Bissaka. They didn't go forward. They defended so well. And I think when Anthony Martial was introduced on that pitch, I thought, he's going to really trouble him because Bellerin is so bad when it comes to, one-on-ones, especially those players that are really technically gifted. He's so poor. But I think he was there. His performance was just there. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Rob Holding and David Luiz, both of them get a 7.5 from me. I think, did Manchester United have a strike on the pitch? They had Cavani. Is he a striker? They just made Cavani look like an upcoming striker. Block all the chances he could get. And when Cavani tried to, pull back, engage in play, they followed him. It was a no Cavani show. Courtesy of David Luiz and Rob Holding. And I think the Oreo prophecy of Rob Holding was so good today to an extent that Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, with all the corners, because I think by halftime they had 6 corners. Manchester United had 6 corner kicks by halftime. They didn't hit the woodwork. They didn't win any aerial duel in our box. They didn't. Don't ask me why we didn't score using the head of Holding and Luiz. I can't answer that. But I'll give them a 7.5. I think the defensive shape was there. I'm going to give Mikel Arteta credit because I was ranting. Why not Gabriel? Why not Gabriel? But I think Luiz and Holding did an excellent job. They both get a 7.5 from me. Cedric Soares played out of position in the left back. He's played out of position in the left back. Now this is the 3rd game. Ever since Kian Tierney became misfit. I was so scared. I'm gonna speak the truth. I was so scared. You don't know what it means to play a player out of position when you're playing in from Marcus Rashford, in from Bruno Fernandes, in from Paul Pogba, and you have a full back that is out of position. I thought they were going to smash us. I thought they were going to just put this to bed. But Cedric was a little bit solid. Now, in the first half, I'm gonna speak frankly, it was Gabriel Martinelli who was covering for him. But in the second half, I don't know what really happened. It was so good from Cedric. He just kept on doing his thing slowly, and whenever I tried to go ahead, to go in front, with the attacks, he was getting exploited. What he did, he stopped going in front. You could see his runs were limited. I think Mikel Arteta told that to him in the at half time. Stop going so much forward. You're exposing the team. You're exposing our backline. When he stopped doing that, I think it was brilliant. Thomas Partey, my man of the match. And now it's fascinating that I give Leno an 8 out of 10 and I give my man of the match a 7 out of 10, not even a 7.5. Well, I think in the second half we had a very good show in the midfield. We passed well. We ran through the midfield well. We tried to pass into dangerous areas very well, but we didn't get into dangerous areas. It reminded me of the Arsenal in November, when we couldn't actually get that ball into the right areas. Partey, I expect you to drive that ball towards the 18 yards box, release it there, Emily Smith Rowe, I expect you to do the same. Granit Xhaka, I've seen you release Kian Tierney. I've seen you release Hector Bellerin. What's happened today? Were we afraid of Manchester United? Yeah, I think we were afraid of Manchester United in the first half, but in the second half, we were brilliant. And I think this was so brilliant from Mikel Arteta. There is a way things just overturned in the second half. But I'll give Partey a 7 out of 10. He made it difficult for Bruno Fernandes. He made it difficult for Fred. You see, I disagree with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just for a moment. I disagree with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in things like that. You need to have a talented player like Donny van der Beek if you're going to take down a player like Thomas Partey. You don't bring Scott McTominay. You don't bring Fred. These are not, these players do not match the quality of Thomas Partey. And you could see whenever he plays against Manchester United, he's so comfortable. Very comfortable, because the only player that gives him hard time is Paul Pogba, and Granit Xhaka is there to deal with Paul Pogba, and I think he did a great job in that midfield. Granit Xhaka, I have no words for him. He's just becoming better and better and better. Well, we shall talk about much of him in the summer when we decide whether to let him go or to sell him. But I think he did such a tremendous job. I'll give him a 6.5. Emily Smith Rowe, my man, one of those players that actually tried to get us into dangerous areas. There was that ball he had tried to look out for Pepe, but the problem, Pepe lacks this communication. I don't know why I don't know whether his ears are for decoration or something, but he lacks communication with these fellow players. That ball, that through ball that Emily Smith had actually looked out for him. If Pepe was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, it shouldn't. I don't want to say it should have been a goal, but it should have been a goal-scoring opportunity. And I think he always tried to pass that ball forward. He made us forget that we are passing sideways, and put us in this passing forward ways mode. And I think he did brilliant. Well, I'll give him a 6.5 as well. Gabriel Martinelli at halftime, he was taken out. He was taken off at halftime by Mikel Arteta. A decision which I do not disagree with. Now I disagree with bringing on Willian. I think it was a time for Martin Odegaard to come on. It was a time, and when he came on, when he came on, all of us wanted to know what he could do. But I think Mikel Arteta knew better, because he spends more time with the players. And of course, I'll try to look at his press conference and see what he's going to talk about Martinelli and why he took him off. I don't know whether he was injured, but he was not good, especially going forward. Aaron van Bissaka was having a show in the first half. What he did, he brings on Willian, and the show of Aaron van Bissaka, boom, boom, it closes. It just closes. That was so brilliant. That was so good, and I loved it. Alexander Lacazette, I'll give Martinelli a 5 out of 10, and I'll give Willian, who replaced him in the second half, a 6 out of 10. I'll give Alexander Lacazette a 6.9 out of 10. Now, you'll see that all these marks are average, because I don't believe we were exceptionally good. We are not good. So, I'll give Alexander Lacazette a 6.9 out of 10. The free kick was brilliant. It was a brilliant idea. Right-footed. It was, an angle where he thought a left-footed player like Granit Xhaka was going to take it, but it was, Alexander Lacazette with such an initiative. Brilliant football. Brilliant idea. And I think there is a way he held up Maguire and Victor Lindelof just to make sure that they were busy. He's like a beast. He's like a lion. He's not so fast, but he's this kind of striker that's going to give you trouble as a defender. And you could see Harry Maguire, you could see Victor Lindelof. They were always busy. They were always occupied. He was always running through their faces. Whenever he got the ball, he drove it, straight to them, and then passed out to Pepe or passed out to Emily Smith Rowe. And I think he gave them a lot of trouble. So I'll give him that 6.9, and I'll give Pepe a clear 6.1. 2 chances. Well, I'm gonna say it was a good block. Yeah. It was a good block from from Harry Maguire, but I think he should have done better. Willian should have done better with the chance he got, and I think Pepe also had 2 more clear chances. Okay, 1 more clear chance, and one half a chance that he was trying to create for himself. He should have scored in this game. He's a brilliant player. He's a good talent, but he just needs that, clearing. He just needs that clearance. You could see how Raheem Sterling transformed, at Manchester City from Liverpool. He was more of a Nicola Pepe, very good player, but he doesn't score goals. He never gets to the score sheet. He never contributes to, to other players scoring. But you could see the goodness in him. You could see how bright, his talent is, and how Pep Guardiola worked on Raheem Sterling to make him one of the best goal scorers in the league. I don't know how he did it, but we just need such a philosophy. So those are the player ratings for the players in this game. Mikel Arteta gets, for me, a 7 out of 10 now. I was planning to give him a 5 out of 10 if we lost this game, or a 3 out of 10. But the reason I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 is I had a problem with Arsene Wenger. However much things could not work out at halftime, he would never change his formation. He would never change his lineup at halftime. He would never do a substitute at halftime. Mikel Arteta makes this in-game change, brings on Willian, who I did disagree with, and I'm gonna say I was wrong. I think Willian had that kind of impact that, especially on Aaron Van Bissaka. He had that impact. So he makes changes. His changes were really brilliant, first and foremost. But I think the Willian change was so brilliant. But even the change of tactics at halftime, we come back in the second half. United, think they're going to continue their, holding the ball spell. It wasn't like that. They come back there and they're surprised. Arsenal have the ball. They're passing it around. They're comfortable. They're attacking us. What should we do? Blah blah blah. We have started hitting the woodwork. We get chances, blocks here and there in their box. 0-0 was the final score. That's the problem. My name is Kosi, and if you like the video, smash the like button. If you do like the content, please get your subscription and turn on the notification button. This has been your player ratings video, and I'll speak to you in the next one.